Hey, welcome everybody. In this video, I've asked Winnie the Pooh to hold on to the key to the entire question of how did the scars on Earth and Venus occur the way they did. So first of all, when we talk about the model called the solar polar configuration, what we're talking about is we're talking about the planets being stacked on top of each other. Venus, Earth, and Mars. But how would that work if they were stacked in a row that they wouldn't just fall into each other? And the answer is, magnetism. And so I've got these two clips from, name bands because they have these fantastic magnets on them. And, if you were to try and take two planets with identical charges, so the southern charge of Venus would have matched the Earth, it would have very well just levitated Venus right in place where it was through the power of electromagnetism. But over time, I believe that Venus became too big, became bigger than the Earth in a degree that didn't work. And that created the pressure, like a thumb weighing down, that brought the two magnets closer and closer. But just like this magnet is doing, right, where I'm not going to touch these things dead center to dead center. I mean, you can, but that's not what I'm going to be able to do. These things are powerful. And what will happen is that they will begin to try and move each other perpendicular, right, left, right. And they will also create a tilt because the magnetic field is round. And so as you get further out, you'll find the roundness. And so what we're going to talk about in our model today is how that created the rims on Earth and Venus. So to do that, I've got obviously a couple of balloons here. The first one of Earth, as we note here, the scar of the Earth is in the northern hemisphere. And so at the top of the balloon here, you should just consider this the North Pole, the northern magnetic pole of the Earth at that time. I'm not assigning it a positive or a negative charge per se, because the poles very well could have flipped. But whatever the poles' alignment was, prior to the apocalypse, that is during the proto-Earth period, this was the Earth's northern pole. On Venus, Venus's scar, called the Artemis Chasm, is found in the southern pole, right? So we've got the South Pole down here. It's found in the southern hemisphere. So the Artemis Chasm is found in the southern hemisphere of Venus. And the Artemis Chasm, it's the 1,600 mile across crater in the surface of Venus. But it's a chasm. It's a hole in the ground in the shape of a big smiley face. 1,600 miles across. I mean, the official report is 21 to 26 or 2,800 kilometers across. But, let's just roughly say 1,600 miles across. That is in the southern hemisphere of Venus. And so what I propose is that the magnetic field between these two planets provided the buffer during the proto-creation period. However, as the planets grew, eventually Venus became overweighted and began falling into the Earth. Because the magnetic fields were the same, they caused a tilt between the two planets. And I'm going to bring this in so you can see this. This is how you take this smiley face and how you take this smiley face. And if you turn them together like this, you find the North and South Pole are both away from each other. And in the middle, you actually end up with a complete circle. Now, the planets never came this close together. That never happened. My best guess of how close they came is about 24 miles. But that's based on the mythology of a marathon, right? And so those two meet up, not on the surface, but they meet up because that is the location of the squatter man in the apocalypse. Right there between these two bodies. On Earth, it took the material from Venus and implanted it on the other side of the squatter man into the Himalayan mountain chain. And that is the model of how these two go together and why it is they go together that way. Nobody's catastrophism work touches Dr. Stinky McDougall's. Don't forget to click that like, share, and subscribe button. Leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. Peace out, everybody.
Well, thank God you had those balloons laying around here.
Oh, yeah, no, I love playing with balloons. Who doesn't love playing with balloons? Any chance I get.
Way to stay young.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Rock on.